went through my calendar. Let me put my AirPods in first.
You
Sure.
good, man? I thought you were gonna beat us to. Usually, I'm the one who's late.
Yeah, no, I was trying to be on time, but then last minute technical difficulties.
Don't worry, you're our first guest that came on time,
That is true.
and,
2 minutes late.
and I say this on every episode. So
All right, hold on. It says I'm connected through AirPods, but I hear you guys through Zoom.
Through Zoom. Okay.
Change the audio. Give me 1 second. Sorry. All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Is it good quality? Because
Yeah, I hear you well, man.
as long as it's good enough quality, matters.
I was gonna change my
Alright.
background to SF, but I can't even find the right settings.
Yeah, I don't have like clothes hanging up and stuff.
No, you got a nice place, bro.
Better. This is my room. If you guys want to see, this is just
Oh yeah,
it's like I normally sit on that chair, but then like the computer's on my lap. So
got
I
it.
have like another desk right here. Like I'm using.
Nice. This is your Chicago home?
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
This is the position I play when I'm playing Valorant. Gaming setup right here.
Dude, we need to talk about that, man. Like, it's been a while since we played League.
It has been, yeah. I mean, I haven't been playing because I've been busy. Like I just started playing Valorant a couple of weeks ago, but yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't been on League for a minute. Have you been?
I've not. Do you
No.
play? Do you still play with Hirsch, or you got new friends?
Hirsch is busy in med school now. I mean, there's no way he's playing. Yeah, it's way too challenging. I think he has his boards coming up, his board exams. So, yeah, I don't think he's hopping on anytime soon if he would be.
He's over at 2 years.
Yeah. How are you guys doing, though? You guys doing well?
doing
Go
well,
ahead,
doing well. It's been a while, Owais. I think the last time we met was in LA.
Yeah, yeah.
We went
Yeah.
to some Amazon Fresh store.
Yeah, I remember that pretty well. It was hard to find parking. We found that parking, and we just had a good time at the
Yeah.
parking lot and stuff. Kicked it with all the homies.
I know we went on.
I think I had to leave early. Did I?
I?
I think because I don't think I went too many places with you guys.
Got it. I know Srikant was driving your rental car, and then we followed you.
Yeah.
I don't know where we went.
Did you guys go to my friend's apartment? No, right?
No.
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't remember where we went, man. It's like my memory was kind of hazy. I don't remember too much. It's been a while.
I think we were with Tejo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
There's a group
Srikant
of us.
was like, "Hey, I think Owais is here in LA. Let's go meet him." So,
Yeah, super long.
we had lunch and then met Owais, right? Or did we have lunch again with Owais?
I don't think you ate with me.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, we just went to that Amazon store or wherever it was, Whole Foods, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. But that was actually kind of recent, though. Now that I think about it, like, because I've only been to back to LA, maybe like 2-3 times after that. So like that was, at least for me, that's pretty recent, just because I'm not, there often.
how's your traveling life?
I just started picking up again all the traveling. So Monday through Thursday or Friday, I'm like usually like on the road again. But it was kind of slow for last couple of months just because projects, like we didn't have too many of them. But now like I'm part of a project, so a lot of more traveling now. If you guys want to come to New York, feel free. I'll probably be there at the end of this month.
I know you met both Sunnies there, right?
Yeah. I went out with both of the Sunnies last time.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna see if I could do something like that again at the end of this month. Because I'm in Pennsylvania, which is like a 2-3 hour drive. It's not too bad, Like if I'm already there, I might as well. 2-3 hours is like LA traffic, like going from LA to San Bernardino, so it's not far. And company pays for
LA
gas.
in New York.
Yeah, the tolls in New York though, that's something else. My dad is telling me, and I was like, I looked at him. It's like $12 just to like enter New York. Like a 20-minute drive is $12. I was like, it's crazy.
Welcome to the Telugu Saga.
I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, we are honored to have you. This is our first episode of season 4, and we couldn't have found a better way to start. So
Appreciate
thank
that.
you. You have always been a crazy support for this channel, multiple channels, the Instagram, even if you were offline for a couple months on Instagram, you find a way to
Uh,
like really update on our posts. So I
yeah,
appreciate that, man.
you're welcome.
Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Of course. I mean, I gotta show my love, and let me know if you guys are on any other channels. I know you guys have an Instagram. You guys have any other channels?
Yeah, I mean, we're on Instagram, we're on
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah, and then I think we are also on Anchor FM and Apple Podcasts. So if we have like a review system that we'll probably implement soon, if you write a review, I'm sure a lot more people are going to watch
Yeah. No, of
after.
course. I
So,
mean, that's cool. I didn't even know about the YouTube or the Apple. I mean, no Spotify because I don't have Apple Premium. I use Spotify.
yeah, it's on Spotify as well.
Okay, I'm more of a
Yeah,
Spotify guy, but
yeah.
Apple's cool too. I'm sure I'll leave a review on the Apple Apple one as well.
No, thank you, man. And
Thank you.
what a wonderful opportunity to have this type of conversation through online and get to know our guests a little bit more. So thank you for that. We met you through mutual friends.
Yep.
Thankful for them. All the sunny street con, from the
Nice.
Gandara hood.
Yeah. From the 626.
Yeah, yeah, area code. Let's go. What we should and would like to know is, the phase after high school. I didn't study here in LA. We know that you went to UCR, so kind of walk us through what you've done in your college years and how did that act as a springboard to where you are.
So I mean, when I was a kid growing up, like, the brown mentality, your parents are always, or your dad especially probably, is like, become a doctor, become a doctor, become a doctor, right?
Yeah.
So I always thought I wanted to become a doctor. When I went to UCR, I was a neuroscience major, even though I got a C in honors chemistry in high school and stuff. Like, and yeah, chemistry was not the move for me. So when I got into college, I realized like, whoa, this is actually a lot harder than I thought. I didn't even get to OChem. I only got through a couple quarters of chemistry, and I had very challenging teachers. So at that point, like, I realized I was like, maybe I should switch if I can only last a couple quarters and I'm really not feeling it. Like, maybe it's time to switch. And so I talked to my dad. I really like psychology, so I was thinking about becoming a psych major, but he's like, if you become a psych major, you got to get your PhD and everything. Like, don't stop at bachelor's, don't stop at master's. So I was like, maybe I don't want to do that much schooling. So that's why I switched to business. And I like money a lot. I mean, when I grew up as a little kid, I used to like walk around through my neighborhood, and I sold candy for a little bit. Like, I bought like the bulk packs from Sam's Club. Was big back then, not Costco, but like I bought it from Sam's Club, the bulk pack, of the candy. And I used to like go door to door, and I used to sell them to people. And I think I made $30. I still have the $30 that I made in my closet.
Wow.
So like, that's when I like realized like, oh, I kind of like money and maybe I want to do business. And then in college, I was like, maybe this is something I should pursue. So that's why I switched to business. And I officially switched 2 years into college, but like, I started taking business classes in the first year, at the end of first year. And then, yeah, I got my business degree from UCR, my bachelor's degree. And then I graduated. My family moved to Chicago actually 2 years into my undergrad, my bachelor's degree at UCR. So I just finished up the rest of the 2 years in California. Moved to Chicago, where I am now currently, where it's super freaking hot for some reason. So the fans on full blast. But yeah, now I'm living in Chicago. I've been working in supply chain operations for about 3 years, and not sure if I want to do this forever. But I am also getting my master's as well too. So I'm trying to learn more, see what I enjoy, and then take it from there. I just one step at a time.
That's a great, interesting story because normally, like, I found that very unique because, like, a lot of people when they go into like business or they find this major, it's usually a very uniform answer of like everybody saying the same thing. But like, it was interesting the way you started it
Really.
with with selling candy, and then for some reason you were just making that money, and then you wanted to like kind of obviously go through that. Did you ever think like when you were in college, knowing that a lot of people are into the IT business, like, the IT realm, and
Yeah.
you could practically now, after COVID, a lot of companies have like come remote where you could essentially work remote. What motivates you to actually go travel? Like, do you ever feel that burnout, or how does that motivate you?
Yes, I do travel a lot for work, but that's personally something I enjoy. I mean, I love my family and everything, and it's just kind of boring sometimes, being at home doing the same thing every day. So I like traveling. A lot of my friends are back home in California, so I do try to go to California at least once a month. And then if I have free time, like when I'm in a different state, I like at nights going out, going and exploring the city and stuff. So that's just something that keeps me motivated to stay within this industry. If my job was just work from home, like I'd be very, very bored, and like I'd try and find something else to do, like maybe make money. I do resell shoes as well too. If you see, there's some shoes over there. I do resell some shoes sometimes here and there. So that's what I do when I'm at home. But I just personally enjoy like going out and like exploring the city, seeing new things, even if I'm by myself. Like I think I'd consider myself an extrovert. Like I love hanging out with people. I don't get tired of being with people. But if there's a situation where I'm traveling and I'm alone, I just try and make the most of it. I go out to the city. I've been to like salsa clubs by myself, been to clubs by myself. I've been like ice skating by myself, like it's just whatever's out there to do in like all these different cities. There's so much to explore, so much in the world. Like we live in our own bubble. And now like if you have the opportunity to go out and the company pays for your gas, the company pays for your car, it's like might as well go explore and see what's out there. There's so much in the world. And I'm just thinking about America. Like I just went to Italy last month, and there's so much more in the rest of the countries across the world. Is like you don't even realize how different they are. It's beautiful. Highly recommend traveling if you get the opportunity to get a traveling job.
I'm a consultant myself, and I have not traveled yet because of
Mm.
COVID, and I work in IT. But I'm looking forward to at least doing a little bit of travel in the next 1 year, hopefully. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It depends where you go too as well. Cause I was thinking about switching over to consulting as well too in the future, but a lot of these warehouses and stuff, if you're going to a warehouse, they're usually going to be in like remote places, like in the middle of Pennsylvania. So it's like that's where I'm going this entire month. I'm be like in the middle of Pennsylvania. But I think you can make the most of it after after hours. Like if you're working like 10 hours throughout the day, like maybe on the weekend or something, or if you have like a free day where you're flying back home, maybe leave work a few hours early and then go explore New York, which is like 2-3 hours away. Like there's always something to do. Even if you go into remote places, you can always go explore. Just drive around and go see something. I'm sure there's gonna be something maybe a couple hours away. Hopefully, museum or something. It'll be fun. You'll enjoy it.
So great to hear that, man.
When's the last time you traveled?
I think to Seattle last April.
Oh, last
Yeah.
April, meaning like last
Last
year?
year.
Oh God, you got to get out of the house.
Yeah, man. And what's funny is that Vishal came to Seattle after a few months.
Mm. You guys
Um,
didn't link up though, like is that different times?
a different time.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I've heard
Um,
great things about Seattle. Just haven't been yet.
no, great city. I think I love the hiking aspect of Seattle. I just love the rain vibes, man. I never got to know this side of you in a way that I've been so grateful to be part of your journey, even though we just link up once in a while. Like every time I ask like what you've been up to, you're always doing new things. And
Oh,
it's hard for most people to do. Most people are so accustomed to do what they're doing, and they're either scared or can't take that first step to either apply for a new job or go out of state, or don't have enough support to do all that. But I think from the point first I met you till now, I feel that you have done so many cool things that you're able to share and kind of lift the spirits for other people to do the same.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even realized that I've been doing stuff like that. But I think the reason why I do a lot of stuff like that is because of friends like you guys. You guys start your own podcast. Other friends, they motivate me. They're like getting their PhDs and everything. So I think it's the people you surround yourself with. I think that's very, very influential.
So are you gonna stop with the masters?
Am I going to stop with the masters?
Are you is starting point?
Schooling wise, I think I'm done after my master's. I don't see myself getting a PhD. I don't see a reason to, but I'm just getting my master's just because I still want more money, but like I thought the number one reason was to get more money. But now I realize that I can use this to determine what industry I like. I'm also learning a lot of important information that I thought I wouldn't learn before. Like I just took organizational behavior, learned a lot about humans, took marketing, learned a lot about these different tools that we can use to market our products. So I'm learning a lot more than I realized. So now I'm realizing I want to start my own business in the future one day. That's where the big bucks are. I feel like a lot of people do as well too. So just getting a master's helps like just in a holistic.
working is one thing, and then also doing a master's together is very tough because I'm doing that right now. I'm working, and for me, I don't even travel. So, like, I at least get that work-life balance. I stay home right after I
Yeah.
finish work, and so I've been like struggling to like catch up on assignments, and thankfully I'm doing okay. But then, how do you plan that out? Like, how do you do both things at the same time?
My master's program right now, it's part time, and it's online as well too. So I personally don't spend. I'm only doing one class at a time, so I'm not spending a crazy amount of time. There's no rush for me to get my master's. I'm only getting my master's just because I want the degree name, right? So like I'm taking my time with it. There's no rush. Once I get my master's, I'm switch jobs, eventually. But still, like I said, no rush. So I think because of the pace I'm going at, and because I'm very comfortable with like one class at a time and like the learning pace, I study maybe 3-4 hours a week or something, write a few essays or whatever the case is, study for a test. And after 3-4 hours, I should be good enough, to get, so far, I should be good enough to get like A's in these classes. So it just depends on your program and how challenging it is. If you're going to rush yourselves, and I don't know how many classes you're taking at a time, Vishal, but like if you take one at a time and you're not in a rush, then I feel like it'd be pretty easy to do, especially if you're traveling. Because I do come home on the weekends when I travel. So like I just come home on the weekends, and then that's when I use my time to like study or do assignments. When I'm out for work on like different states and stuff, then I don't really have time. I'm working the entire day. I got to drive back. I got to go to the gym. I got to go get dinner and get some good rest. Like there's just no time during the weekdays. So you just got to pace yourself. I think that's very important.
Sure. And then, because you're working with people in person, do you think you're the type of person that provides clarity to a team or brings energy to a team?
Sometimes I provide confusion because I don't really know what I'm doing. So it just depends, because the way my company works is they kind of just toss you into a project. Take, for example, the project I'm working on right now. It's an SAP integration project. I didn't know anything about SAP before this, but I am the lead trainer for a lot of the sites. I'm scheduling everything, and then I'm going out onto the floor and I'm training these folks. So sometimes I do cause a little confusion. They ask me questions. I'm like, I personally don't know the answer, but I'll get you the answer. So, in that sense, I can provide clarity. So I do have a wonderful team that I'm surrounded with. So like they give me clarity. And then I think the number one thing like that I help with is kind of morality in a sense, because I get to know these people like that are on the floor, and these guys are working hands on with these products with the warehouse. And I'm also in contact, because I'm technically corporate, so I'm in contact with a lot of people from corporate. Like my boss is a senior director of supply chain, so like I get to see both worlds, and I get to tell, hey, boss, this isn't working out because of this, this, and this on the floor. And then I can tell the floor people, hey, the reason why you aren't getting these changes is because from a corporate standpoint, you can't do this, this, and this. So like I get to see both worlds, and I kind of mediate that in a sense. I'm not always successful in mediating it, because some people are still like angry, like, hey, like why isn't this happening, or why isn't this happening from both sides. But I think I try and balance that as much as possible, because my role is continuous improvement. So I go out onto the warehouses and I go and determine, hey, this could use some revamping. We can go ahead and make this a little better, more efficient, whatever the case is. So I think that's my main focus when I do go out to work.
And I think you bring a lot of energy to your friend groups and groups.
Appreciate that.
Our previous guest on MBA, who spoke about MBA, mentioned that people who do MBA wants to either move up higher in the ladder, or just they want to like a switch to their career. What has been your reason, and how is it currently helping you at your work?
Yeah, so I haven't implemented too much of my stuff. So I just started my MBA actually maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So I haven't implemented too much of what I've learned, because I've only taken 2 classes so far. But basically, I would like to switch careers, or just switch jobs in general. Like I was telling Vishal, like I want to go into maybe possibly consulting, just so that way I can get some more experience, because I don't know if I want to do this forever, supply chain. So that's why I think I'm gonna get my MBA, figure out hopefully what I like while I'm getting my MBA. If I don't figure out what I like, it's fine. I mean, maybe I can go into consulting and then see what I like from there. To switch careers, get a better salary. Once I have that better salary down, hopefully move to California. And then after that, I don't know what I want to do after that, but that's my short-term goal. Like I said, I'm taking it one step at a time.
Evan, so you're gonna buy a house here soon?
That's the goal, like I don't want to live out here. It's like it's either freezing cold for half the year, it's like snowing and stuff, and like my car's always slipping. I've like crashed my car 3 times just because it's snowing.
Oh no.
And it's either super hot and humid, which it is right now during the other half. California is always nice, you know. So
Welcome back home,
that's
man.
thanks, man. I'm hoping that maybe in a year or two, that's the goal. But we just got to see. It all depends on salary, and like all this inflation is jacking prices up for everything. I can't pay $6.50 for gas in California. That's crazy.
I think what we should take away from everything you said is you have not backed out on career switching at any point of your life. So in terms of degree changes in UCR, you know, your desires and your goals, you have the ability to test anything at any time as you feel like it. And not many people are ready to do that. What's been driving you to be able to make these changes as you see?
Well, my father's been on my butt a lot. So, especially about this master's thing. First of all, bachelor's wasn't even a question, you know, like it's like after high school, I feel like it is like that for like most brown people, but like right after high school, it's like you better get your bachelor's. I mean, if you don't go to college, like sometimes a lot of parents are like, oh, like that's not right. You know, you need to get as much education as possible. So I got my bachelor's, and then I didn't think about master's for a bit. You know, I finished my bachelor's degree. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I'll get a job, you know, just live life, go with the flow. And then my dad kind of came back to me after a year or two, and he's like, so when are you getting your master's? And I realized that that might be something that is minimal nowadays. That's what I believe. That's what my dad instilled in me. A master's is kind of more minimal than a bachelor was back in the day, you know? So now I think it's kind of essential to get a master's, and that's one of the biggest driving forces if behind like why I'm keep pushing to, I guess, achieve new goals. Also, biggest motivator for me, and not in the wrong way, but money really motivates me. Money makes me happy. I think if people say money doesn't make them happy, like that doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, to each their own. I mean, but money can buy a lot of things that can make you happy. I'm just letting you know. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there that you could enjoy a lot more if you have the money. And I think now's the time, at least for us. You know, I'm blessed enough to be living with my family and focusing on just a few things, just like education, career, and my parents. Even my parents are finding a wife for me now too. I don't even have to think about that. Like it's like I have the ability to focus just because I have a good support system. That's essentially what it comes down to. And if you don't have a good support system, it's a little more challenging, but it's still doable. And I respect that so much more. I have family, I have friends who like didn't come from the bottom, but like they came from like positions of not being as fortunate. And I think that's so much more challenging to do, like, and becoming like a better person. Like it builds a better foundation basically from the start versus being like in a better position from the beginning. Then you don't appreciate stuff as much.
If there's one thing the name Owais stands for, I would say is he stucks with his roots. like anyone I introduce you to, like, or speak about you, it's either family, it's either religion, it's how you brought up, it's togetherness, it's friends. You're able to, you know, tighten the bond with all of those. You mentioned that money is everything. You know, they say money only solves money problems. What about all other areas that is part of life, like love?
Yeah, I think it's essential to have like a balance between everything. I don't like money isn't everything, but I think it solves a lot of problems, a lot more problems than you realize. Like, say for instance, you said money and then you said love, right? Yeah, you should try to find someone you love, but the number one cause of divorce is money, right? So it's like maybe if you had more money, if money wasn't an issue as much, then there'd be less divorces and more love, you know, like going on in the world. I don't know if that kind of makes sense, but that's just kind of my philosophy behind it. I don't think it can solve everything. Like, obviously, you still got to care for the other person. There's a lot more components involved than just money. You know, you can't throw money at every problem and be like, here, take this money and like, you're fine. But I think money can solve a lot of things. And it's just important to have in general. Like, you're going to have a lot more problems if you don't have money. But I know I'm just saying it like it's easy to acquire or something, and it's definitely not easy to acquire. It's not something that's like just for everyone. Some people might find more value in helping people, you know. But like, say I can go to a third world country and I can go help these citizens with clean water. I could like hold up the water ball and I can go to like the well and I could get it out of the well for them and like make them drink the water. Or you can have money and you can buy a well and buy sanitization and buy basically pipes that you can build infrastructure to go ahead and carry that water to the people. So I think there's a lot of problems that can be solved with money, but not all problems can be solved with money in general.
And the way and the ways you're thinking about money is and how to earn money, I feel like you're really resourceful. Like the whole selling candy thing, I wouldn't be allowed to sell candy like at that young age. And now you're selling shoes. I think that's a great way, man. Either like, people are collecting cars, street comp.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a factor of earning money for a reason, because in these tough times in America, like you got to find a way. Otherwise, it's hard to live. I'm
Yeah.
grateful, like we have this, like we're living under a roof in this hot weather with the whole climate changes, and be able to afford food every week. It's, we take things granted, but I feel like you are working hard. You're finding ways to earn money so that to help other people. I think, yeah, for the greater good. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's important that we start off like at the age that we are right now. It's compounding is one of the most useful tools out there. So if we start off now making a lot more money, go ahead and invest it. In the future, invest in yourself. You can make a lot more money as you grow older, and there's going to be so many hidden costs that we don't even know about yet. Once we have wives, once we have houses, once we have kids, there's going to be so much more we got to pay for. We can't just focus on ourselves now. Like it's so much more we got to afford. So you don't even realize until it's too late. So I don't want it to be too late and then realize, I want to save right now and then build a foundation off of that. And you said you wouldn't be able to sell candy as a kid. I mean, my parents are super cool and like they let me like go door to door in elementary school. I used to mow people's lawns too. I was a terrible lawnmower. I don't even mow my own lawn over here, but like back in elementary school, I used to mow people's lawns for like a couple dollars here and there, just so that way I can make some money. Parents used to pay me when I used to read the Quran, our holy book. My parents used to pay me like a nickel every page I read, just like ever since it's just motivating for me, just instilled in my head, make money, make money, make money.
During like COVID, especially like, you were fairly young out of college. What are things that you invested in yourself? We all had these ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
Was there something that you invested in that, it could be like something small, like going to the gym or reading more books, watching something. Like, were there anything that you've done through those years that has like kind of shaped you right now?
I'm always striving to make changes, small changes here and there. I don't think I should make big changes at a time. Like unless it's like getting my master's degree and like stuff like that. Like there's got to be like a step like that. But I've always hit the gym. I did this 75 hard day challenge where I had to read like a certain amount of pages, about 10 pages a day, drink a lot of water. So I mean, small changes here and there. That's not something I stuck with the entire time. But like I tried to stop saying as many bad words. That's something that like I just recently we had Ramadan a couple months ago actually. So like I realized like, hey, all these songs I'm listening to, like on all these people I'm speaking with, I should probably there's no reason to cuss, like so that's one thing I'm trying to focus on myself. That like I want to go ahead and limit like the amount of like watch what I'm saying with my tongue. So I think there's just small changes here and there. I started making my bed too, actually, recently. But yeah, that's because my parents got mad at me. But like just small changes here and there that like I think accumulate over time. It's always good to go with the flow, and then when you realize like, hey, maybe I can do a small change here, but stick with my general flow. And it's not a drastic life change for me, but it's something that like I would appreciate over time, like as time goes on. I travel all the time, like I said, for work. So before I used to just toss my clothes in the suitcase, like my dirty clothes, just toss it to one side of the suitcase. Now I fold it and put it on that side of the suitcase, So it's just small things here and there that like add up over time. And I strongly believe in that rather than just like making a huge change all of a sudden, like, hey, like let me go ahead and just reorganize my entire life, because that's so much harder for humans to do than just make small changes. And as time goes on, like as long as you're consistent with them, like you can become a better person in general.
That is a fair thing that you say because, for example, like when I was younger, I used to not be so organized about certain things. But
Yeah.
over, when I started to work and making my bed is like one of those interesting things that my mom believes that if you don't make your bed in the morning or you just rush out, you're kind of like forcing a negative energy around you. And while those small changes that I made, I noticed that the type of quality that I produce at work also changed too. So these small changes, do you think they are helping you do a better job at work?
I work in my room sometimes. Depends like if I'm remote or not, right? So like when I'm traveling for work, which is maybe 80-90% of the time, I have maids. So I don't make my bed over then. Like at
Yeah,
that time, like it's my hotel. So like the maids come in and they make my bed for me. I'm like, why would I make my bed? Like if like it's gonna be a
that's
clean
right.
bed at the end of the day anyways. So then like and I'm usually in a rush in the morning, right? So I just like rush out and stuff. But when I'm at home, brush my teeth and then I make my bed and then I sit down. And yeah, I think like that does help because my bed isn't just straight messy. It's not something like I look up and it's like there's just a mess everywhere in my room because I sit directly in front of my bed. I started doing that, and I think that helped. And I also got this app actually. It's on the Apple Store on the iPhone. The
Is it?
Forest. It's basically this app that you go ahead and log into every time you're going to study or something. So my cousin, she actually showed me this. I did pay $4 for it, so it's kind of pricey for no reason. But basically, you go ahead and tap every time like you're going to start studying. It has a timer, and then after that timer rings, it plants a virtual tree. So I think that really helped me like focus because I realized like, hey, like if I have my phone right there in front of me and it's timing me and it's making sure that I'm working rather than having my phone in front of me every time I get a notification. Like I literally just got a notification right now and I was just like looked at it and had the urge to open it. But if I had the Forest app, I'd be like, oh, like I have a timer going on right now. Like this is my time to study. I shouldn't mess around. And if you do open your phone and go to a different app, it kills the virtual tree, right? So like you got to make sure that like, hey, like you don't touch your phone. So I think that's just something else that helped. I know it's a little off topic for making my bed, but I think when I'm at home, I think that's something else that like keeps me focused as well too.
No, that's a great example. Does it use the Pomodoro technique? It's a way for us to concentrate every 25 minutes
Okay,
on one task, like deep into the task for 25 minutes, and then you take a break, and then you continue hour to hour. But
I
yeah,
heard about that.
yeah.
Does that use that for sleeping as well too? Because I heard
Ooh.
Pomodoro, or is it just for studying? Because I know sleeping is something like an ideal nap is 20 something. I don't know. People say all numbers, but I don't know if it
Yeah,
works for sleeping.
yeah. Not sure about the sleep, but yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I think it's particularly to focus on any task. I feel like
Hmm.
I can't even concentrate more than 10 minutes. So that speaks a
Yeah.
lot. So I need to train my brain. I think I can understand where Auntie's coming from and like how making your bed can affect other things. So I listened to a motivational speech from a general. I think you guys may know that his first thing he says to make your bed because that's your first achievement of the day, and more things that come in your way, I think it'll help you feel better or more good to do those things. And then once it's time to hit the bed, like you feel even better that you made that bed that morning. I think that's well put.
Yeah, there's nothing like coming home to a nice clean bed, like you just open the sheets and lay in. Feels so good.
Yeah. And one thing I did want to mention always, I think all learn something from other people. And I think one thing I learned from you is that you always been simple. I don't know if you noticed it yourself, other people have mentioned it, but I think when Wishal asked you that if you have done anything these few years, and I feel like you have, when you're simple, I think you as a person done simple things better, or you're trying or striving
I,
to do those simple things better.
yeah, I think I see what you're saying in a sense. Like, and I do agree. I'm simple. I mean, I got a plain black shirt on. It's like, and it's more than that too. Like, if you're talking socially, I don't see the reason why people like beat around the bush and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
just tell people. I'm pretty open book in general. So like, I think I see what you're saying about just being simple. Like, just do the task. Don't make it complex if you don't need to. Don't add the drama. Don't unless you like drama and stuff. But I know some people watch The Bachelor. I don't know if you watch The Bachelor or something, but that's not my type of stuff.
But yeah, what else is cooking? You said you're traveling.
Yeah.
Anything going on?
I think my most recent travel was to California, actually. This was 2, 3 weeks ago. I caught COVID, actually. That was my first time getting COVID in the last 2 years.
That's
Uh,
unbelievable. You get it now.
yeah, it's actually a lot of people did end up getting COVID from the event I was at, but I went out there, got COVID, and then I saw Shriek the next day, Shrikant. So I was like, oh snap! Like I was staying at his house actually, Shriek, Shirag, and Raj, and I was just like, oh snap! Like I tested positive, and I was like, wait, let's test again. I tested again, positive. It's like, okay, I got COVID, and I went back to their house. I had a mask on. I had to like pack all my stuff, and I sat outside for a little bit. And I was like, "Yo, guys, like, I'm sorry I stayed with you guys last night, but got COVID. Just want to let you guys know." And thankfully, none of them got COVID, which is surprising. I don't know how the strain works and stuff, but like I was at their house like for a while. So yeah, I got COVID. Luckily, I travel a lot, so I did have hotel points. So I just booked a hotel in Long Beach. I stayed like it was the walking distance. It's like 5 minute walk to the beach. So every day I just did work remotely, in the hotel after work at 3 p.m., which is 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. Central. So like 3 p.m. in Pacific time. Like I just went down to the beach, sat at the beach, did a little essay, for my MBA program, and just sat there, and like just got darker, I guess. I don't know. It's a good time, like I wore a lot of sunscreen and stuff, but I definitely got super tan from that. But is a really good way to like spend COVID, I guess, just sit at the beach, you're isolated for sure, and then just sit there and you just listen to the waves crash, close your eyes, just sunbathe. It was very relaxing, surprisingly. So thankfully, I didn't have any symptoms either, which is very helpful. I did get a fourth shot, so that might have been helpful.
LA's like a hot spot now. If you come,
Oh, it's bad. I mean, I think cases were rising last I heard. I just don't know how they
yeah.
are. I was looking at Italy's cases actually because when I came back from Italy, I just wanted to see. I think Italy's spiking up a little bit as well too. But I mean, no one's talking about it anymore on the news. It's all hush hush, just because people are over it. I mean, I know I'm for sure over it. My dad, my grandparents, they all used to be worried about it, but now they're like, everyone's gonna get it. It's fine. Like, I mean, as long as you're vaccinated, and you should be fine. So I think a lot of people are just it's just another thing now.
Yeah. In the topic of traveling, I know that it greatly impacted me in becoming a better decision maker and being open-minded to new cultures and new people. How did the whole traveling experience affect you and is affecting?
So I didn't see much of the world or much of the U.S. before I started traveling. So I used to go to Chicago. I used to go to Texas. I went to Washington D.C. and like North Carolina because my cousins lived there too. But that was the only places I saw before. I was in California. Like that was the only places. And I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, so but I don't remember that. But like I didn't see too much of the rest of the world, or rest of the U.S. at least. But now that I'm traveling, I got to see like New York. I got to live in Pennsylvania. I got to live in North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever. And I'm meeting a lot of people, and I realize that these places aren't as like remote, I guess, as like I thought. Like I thought Texas back in the day would just be like desert everywhere. But like Texas isn't like that. Austin's super hip. Atlanta, I thought Atlanta would be like hella like just like I don't know, like rap music and just like super like low riding cars and everything everywhere. But like it's
That's what
not
we
like
thought
that. It's
about
like
Indiana too. Like it's a whole desert place.
yeah, but it's not anything like you expect. Like you have these stereotypes in your head before, and like you like go there and you're like, oh whoa, this is like actually very diverse. Like there's a lot of things out here. It's just like
People
a
actually
lot
live
of
in
culture.
Arizona?
Yeah, like, what? It's crazy. Like so I'm pretty excited about this next trip I have. Actually, not the next trip, but like one of the next trips I have. I'm going to Miami. Yeah, that's in the beginning of August, in a month or so from now. I'm super excited for that because I've never been to Florida, and I have this like stereotype of like Florida people are just crazy. Like there's crocodiles everywhere and like giant mosquitoes flying around. That's what I have in my head from all these YouTube videos I watch. Just insane, folks. But when I go there, when I go to Miami, I'm sure I'll see a lot of that. It's Miami, but like I just want to see how it is out there. I'm going for a weekend with friends, go explore the city. I'm gonna have a night to myself as well too, because I'm leaving a little later. So that night, I'm just gonna drive around, explore the city, see how the beach is, just get the vibe of the place. I think that's very important. And if I can't move to California, maybe I want to move to Miami. Right now, number 2 on the list is Atlanta. Atlanta's very beautiful. I really like the culture out there. So maybe I'd move to Atlanta if I didn't want to move to California. It's always good to have backup options in a sense and like understand the world a little bit more.
I love that, man. Your Italy trip, how's that experience from your US travel, and would you settle there? Is that your plan C by any chance?
That is actually plan C. So like I said, Atlanta's plan B is up there, but like if I had to like move across the world or something, Italy for sure. I mean, it's beautiful. I wasn't initially going to go on the trip because I had a work trip that coincided at the same time, but that work project got pushed back a little bit. So I went with two cousins. I went with one who was kind of planning the whole thing, and the other one, it was her birthday. One of them, the one that's planning everything, she told me to come and surprise the girl whose birthday it was. So I flew down there, surprised them, and there's two women out there, so like we want to make sure like that they're safe as well too, just because new environments and stuff. Like so, I went out there, helped them out for a little bit, but then like they also showed me so much of the place. Like they both live in the U.S., Texas, and Washington D.C., but basically when I went out there, I got to explore everything with them. Is one of their first times out of the country as well, so like it worked out perfectly, and it's beautiful out there. Like the scenery, it's gorgeous. Like I don't even know, like nothing in California compares to it, or even in the U.S. compares to it. Is gorgeous scenery. The food was super nice, a little pricey, but it seemed super healthy. Like you don't feel heavy after eating it. I don't know if that makes sense, but you feel full but not heavy, which is very good. So it's a little healthier food as well too. People are all super nice. Like everyone was just helping us out for no reason, except one of the guys at the toll booth. Like he's like, I don't know. They're always mean, I guess, everywhere. And yeah, it's an experience that I think everyone should undertake if they have the time and the funds to do it. Just because Italy is just something else. There's so much history. The Roman Empire basically conquered the world 2,000 years ago. Like it's insane, like how much history there is out there. America, what you see, like 200, 300 years old. Like I went to Philadelphia where they signed the Declaration of Independence last week, right? It's 200, 300 years old. Still impressive. 250 blows your mind, right? But like Italy, like this water bottle I got from Italy, the companies in America, they say like founded, like established in 1901 or something. This thing says like, you can't see it. It says 1564. Like that's like so much older than like established in 1900s, like 1500s. It's insane. Like so much history out there in the world. And I do want to go back to India. It's been a while since I've been to India, but that's on my bucket list as well too. Have you guys been to Europe yet?
I've not. We got to make it soon. Wishal and I are going to Colorado, and that's the
Okay.
extent.
Colorado still sounds like fun. I haven't been out there, but I'm imagining just desert out there, But let me know how it is. Take some pictures. Let me know how it is. I've never been.
How do you save your memories? Like you travel a lot. Do you take pictures?
I Snapchat a lot. So, I mean, all like a lot of Snapchat memory. But yeah, I'm actually not big on photos, like at least of myself or whatnot. I don't take a lot of selfies, I guess. I don't really I don't post on Instagram too often, but like I usually take videos on Snapchats or pictures on Snapchat, send it to my friends. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like where I'm at, like, my streaks and stuff. So I send it in. I'm like, oh, yo, like, this is where I'm at. Like, a lot of people find that fascinating. Like, oh, I didn't know Pennsylvania looked like that. I didn't know Texas was like that, So I think a lot of my stuff is just saved on Snapchat by default because of that.
Got it.
So if I ever lose my Snapchat, I'm going to be very, very sad. Like, that has everything on it. My senior year quote from high school was Snapchat is life. Add me.
Whoa. No.
And I had my Snapchat name on it. Yeah, like I got my yearbook right here. Snapchat is life at me, and like I actually got people adding me, like some friends added me on that and stuff. And yeah, I guess Snapchat just ended up being an integral part of my life ever since then. I don't know. I'd be sad if Snapchat ever goes down.
Yeah, I'm usually not the person to travel, right? Like I was not that big into traveling. Like once a year travel is good enough for me. My perspective has changed over the past 6 months because I'm also taking a very heavy course load of master's classes and I'm working at home. But it's like I never actually get to go out. And so I kind of get sick and I'm just like, I really need to plan something in the summer when I get time. Like
now you would want to go out because you know you're
exactly.
missing out on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel it. I think it's very important to have something you look forward to. Like, I mean, especially if you got a heavy workload like that, you should always, at least for me personally, that's something that motivates me to move forward. I have something to look forward to. Like, I'm like, have a trip planned or like have something with friends, I think if that's something that like you enjoy, like definitely like plan something so that way like you're like, oh, if I get this A in my master's class, or if I like do really well in work, like you can enjoy yourself. Like you had something to look forward to. You don't feel guilty. So definitely plan something if you can, other than that Colorado trip. I mean, there's a lot more
Other
out there in the
than
world. There's a lot more
dating.
out there. I'm sure Colorado's gonna be fun, but no diss on Colorado. But there's a lot out there.
Man, thanks for those, because we're shot like planned a couple of things already these 3 months, so he's on a good streak.
It's good. It's
I
good.
should ramp it up.
Yeah, something to look forward to.
Always, thank you so much for your time, man.
Yeah, of course.
I think I had a wonderful time learning about you, and
Appreciate
so many pure things that I wish I knew sooner.
that.
When we hang out like in person, it's less times about meaningful things like this, meaningful things that are close to each one of us. I think that's what makes this type of media stream, to be able to talk and be vulnerable and teach each other one of few things that we learned from. I think this is a great way. So thanks for lending us your time.
Oh yeah, and thanks for letting me come on and talk with you guys. I mean, it's amazing to be able to like talk about myself. Like it's means a lot. Like you said, like we don't have meaningful conversations like this that often. Like the rare occasions that we do get to see each other, but we talk about cars and stuff. Like I mean, and I do love cars, but like it's not it's not meaningful like this. So hopefully, yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. To remember, like a few months ago, like I think I texted happy birthday or something went on, and like I was like, wow, it'd be kind of cool to be in like the Telugu Saga like one day, and now I finally get to be on it. So I'm like super excited. I was gonna shave today. I was looking forward to it, but I didn't get a chance to clean up. I was like, I gotta look good for these guys.
Wichal, like I don't know if you've seen this guy like 6 years ago. He looks the same, man. I don't know. Like nothing changes about him.
I think we had this conversation. I think last time we met, we were talking about something like showing a picture of him like back then, and then now it's the same. He looks the same.
It's the sunscreen. You gotta always have that good sunscreen. I got some sunscreen on deck. It's Hawaiian Tropic. Make sure you use that. I highly recommend it.
Definitely, man. Did you get it from
Not sponsored. Target. Not
Target.
Sponsored, but if you want to sponsor Telugu Saga, Hawaiian Tropic, feel free.
Thank you, man. Awesome, man. Yeah, we'll love to let us know when you're back. We'll crash at Srikanth's place, all of us.
Yes, sir. COVID free, hopefully. Yep, COVID free. Get tested.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I know we met a couple times, but then it was just like just going out, just having fun, eating dinner,
Yeah.
whatever it is, right? But it was great to get to know you, and things that I got out of just learning about your journey. One, it's like your simplicity. You don't try to complicate things and then, beat around the bush, and then it just gets all messy. Two, staying curious at moments where you could just stay at home and work on a job or travel locally. You're actually exploring out there, which is amazing. That's something I got out of it. I'm just like, wow, I really need to go explore now. Like I'm just sitting at home. Is there anything that you want to tell, like this, like one thing about to the audience, something like a final say for a podcast?
Definitely, like I mentioned, like it's always important to have something to look forward to at the end of the day. Even I mean that figuratively, not literally at the end of the day, because I mean, yeah, you can have something to look forward to at the end of the day, watch a movie or something. But I think there should be something that you look forward to within your life. Like life is all about working, making money, striving to have a better quality of life at the end of the day. But if you want to look forward to something, if you have something to look forward to, like you always work harder and be happier doing it. I think like if you don't have someone to look forward to, you're just gonna go through work like with your head down, just dreading like, hey, I gotta go into work, I gotta do this, I gotta do this chore, do that task. But if you have something to look forward to, you're like, wait a second, maybe if I do all these tasks and stuff, I'll be a lot more happier when I do go out and have fun with my friends, have fun exploring the city, so on and so forth. So I think it's very, very essential to have something to look forward to. A lot of people don't understand that. That's just something I realized as time goes on. Like a lot of people are like, yeah, work, and they don't seem happy doing it. And I think one thing that I realized is if there's something that I'm looking forward to soon, I'm a lot more happier doing my work. Like that's like I'm counting down the days, yeah, and I don't enjoy fully doing my work, but I'm like, wow, maybe if I did my task and completed my task, when I do go out, I'm gonna make sure I enjoy that to the full extent because I deserve it. So I think having that recognition that you deserve something just makes the tasks and the fruits of your labor just so much more enjoyable.
Always, what the hell, man? You gotta leave us with that now. Oh. Like I always think
Solid.
about, yeah, I always think about breaking the cycle for tomorrow, but I think looking forward to is a better way of putting it. Even tomorrow morning, I'll be like, oh, work's gonna start. Okay. This piece of advice you shared, I think I've not come across. Like, so I think you put it beautifully. And I think you're gonna shock Srikanth and all the Sunnies when they listen to this. They're always on the show. What?
Shout out to Glendora. No, I appreciate you guys having me and everything, and let me tell you guys a piece of my mind. I appreciate that.
Really appreciate it, Owais. Great to get to know you, and absolutely let us know when you're coming to LA.
Yes, sir.
Let's do something great. And before we go to the fun round, just want to thank the audience. I know Sai and I had a little of a break from season 3, and then we're starting season 4. But always love the support that everybody gives. And please do, if you watch the episodes, give us a review, give us some comments. Any feedback, would love to shape it in our next episodes. And yep, thank you for that.